Hi guys, my name is Lita with Lita Fajita Crafts, and today you are watching Crochet with Spite. Yes, I am spiteful about a lot of things right now, okay? And crochet helps me deal with my emotions, so I am going to crochet through the spite. And I actually have two projects today. They both represent various things that I am spiteful about, so let me go ahead and introduce those projects to you. So, this one is actually one that I had forgotten about, but the important part is the yarn I'm making it with. This is Yarn Art Flowers. Does it remind you of anything? Does it look a little bit like Twister from Hobbii? I think so. Now, they don't have this colorway, I don't think, but Hobbii did something a little upsetting recently. They are doing a lot of layoffs, I have heard, and one of the people that they chose to lay off was their beloved host, Matthias. So I am going to be crocheting with some Hobbii alternatives, and I'm gonna name drop a few. If Hobbii reinstates Matt, I did promise in my reel that I would take them down. So most of my Hobbii alternatives will be in a different video, but because I just want to get it out there right now, Yarn Art Flowers. Yarn Art Rose Garden also appears to resemble Twister. I haven't tried it yet, but I want to very soon. Hey, I'm editing now, but I checked and Yarn Art Flowers is a cotton acrylic blend and it's similar to Hobbii Twister. And Yarn Art Rose Garden is just cotton and it's more similar to Hobbie's Sultan Deluxe. Spun Colors by Premier. I have tried that one and it very closely resembles Tea Time. What else have I tried? Michael's has one that I've got to think of the name, but I have several skeins of it here in my room. They're not within reach. But it resembles Cascata, and I will definitely... Oh, Caron Blossom Cakes, that's what it's called. Yeah, so I mean, hey, not even tariffs on it. It's made here in... Is it made in the US? It's produced in the... Stored in the US? I don't know. Maybe there is tariffs in it. Who knows? All kinds of prices are being jacked up because of tariffs, and that's another thing that I'm salty about today, tariffs. Is there ever just so much wrong that you can't pick one thing to be upset about? So much. Tariffs, the healthcare system, racism, corporations, all of them. Everything is so upsetting today. Anyway, but there's a few Hobbii alternatives that I'll leave you with, and that's all the detail I'll go into about that thing today. There are several more things that I'm spiteful about, though. Don't you worry. Here's my other project. Gotta find it. This is my Melt the Ice hat. The ball of yarn I'm working off of has very much deconstructed itself. But this was my hand-dyed yarn. It normally looks like this, of course, it's in a hank, and so I had to wind it into a ball, and my yarn winder was being, I don't know, it was being skibbity, okay? So the ball of yarn fell apart. Hopefully not like our country, which feels like it's gonna fall apart, but, here's my Melt the Ice hat so far. And I know that a lot of people, I've been seeing online a lot that a lot of people are very upset that politics are invading the crafting world. But I want to tell you guys just a little bit about my experience being a woman of color in America. And I don't want to go into it too much, but basically something that I've noticed ever since the second Trump administration started is that in public spaces, people are starting to feel a lot more comfortable expressing their own racism. And that is really, really alarming to me. I started posting anti-ICE content on my personal Facebook, and I got a lot of hate for it from a lot of people that I know. But not just over my political views. It escalated quite a lot, and somebody actually even told me in the comments point blank, I am racist, it's rooted in statistics. Just because our opinions are different does not mean that I'm wrong. And so that tells me that something is going around that is making people feel as though they are correct to be racist. And that's really terrifying. Okay? I don't think a lot of people consider themselves to be racist, okay? It's actually very shocking to me that this person did. This is someone I've known for 10 years. They've never really been mean to my face, and so I kind of went into a whole spiral when that happened, where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, people are like this to my face, but they would vote for my removal if they could, and we're getting to where they can, and like, that's terrifying. Like, who can I even trust anymore? I don't know, because, well, no. I don't want to get into it too much deeper than how deep I'm in now, okay? But all I'm gonna say is that this political climate is atrocious. A lot of people, they think that they're in the right, but I've been seeing people say things like, in my local news channels, I've been seeing comments on the posts that say things like, make construction white again. Huh? Why? What does that mean? Why do you... What? And I've seen lots of things, you know, some children have been, not children, some like older teens, high schoolers, have been protesting, and people are saying, yeah, anything to get out of class. Okay, yeah, maybe a few of them are just doing it to get out of class, but more than likely, they're doing it because their classmates are disappearing, and they're not okay with that. ICE is in schools. They've taken kids out of schools, and they get kickbacks for everyone they take, okay? We're already seeing a problem with them taking people who are here legally and holding them despite them being legal and having proof. Why would they do that? Probably the kickbacks, and other than that, kind of just pure evil. Probably lots of coercion. I don't even know. I mean, I've had it up to here with all of that. So that's why I'm making this hat. Because I think probably, hopefully, for every racist comment I've also seen one hat, okay? And when I see those racially insensitive or just plain old racist comments, they really make me panic. They make me question if I even should be alive currently. And I'm sorry, this is very hard for me to talk about in a public setting, but that's how I've been feeling, okay? And I don't think I'm the only one. I don't think at all that I'm the only one. But every time I see somebody wearing or making a resistance hat, that reminds me that there's people on my side. There's people who believe that I have value. There's people who believe that people of all races have value and are welcome here in America. And it makes me feel a lot better. It reminds me that there are people in this world who stand with me. And so I'm making one of these so that I can also show all the other marginalized people who are scared right now that I stand with them and that they're safe with me. So, that was a lot, sorry. I think that's enough on that though. I kind of just, on top of the bingo host being let go today, that was pretty upsetting. There's kind of just stuff going on all the time, all over the place. That's like a constant reminder every day of just fear and like negative feelings that I've been feeling a lot. I actually had gotten earlier, I guess early 2025 or mid 2025 really, I had gotten to a place with my mental health where I was able to stop counseling, and I've been in counseling for a very, very long time. I've had depression and anxiety since I was in high school, and I was, for the first time since then, scoring on those tests like low enough to indicate that I no longer had depression and anxiety. But it's back. It's back like in full force, and it really started coming back in January when, you know, when things went crazy in Minnesota and I saw all the people backing it up. I saw how people thought about it and how they talked about it. And it kind of just seems like every day since then it's been an avalanche of things. A police officer in my town was shot and killed today. I don't really know many more details other than that, but they sent out an alert that there's a dangerous person on the loose, which there are always dangerous people on the loose in my town. I'm not trying to say that alert wasn't important. It's very important, but my town actually has shootings almost every day. Sometimes they make the news, sometimes they don't. Two recently that made the news though, one was in a building that I can see from my window when I look out, so that was pretty scary. And one was in a building that one of my close friends used to live in. And, I mean, thank goodness they moved. Yeah, it's been a lot. My health has been bothering me. I think that I've had some warning signs that something was wrong, but I really thought they were all stress and I ignored them. But the other day while I was at work, I got a really severe pain in my chest, like nothing I've ever felt before. And I went to the hospital and it turned out that I had had a gallbladder attack. But along with the gallbladder attack, when they were running tests, this is unrelated, but they found blood clots in my lungs. And at the time, the blood clots aren't causing me any symptoms besides just like a little bit of lightheadedness and a little bit of, a little bit hard to breathe. And stress also causes that. So I really wasn't concerned, but I actually just found out that I could have died. A gallbladder attack saved my life. I'm getting treatment now and I'm gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine with that. But that was a big stressor. And oh my goodness, you guys, our healthcare system is so expensive. I'm worried a lot more about my finances than I am about my body right now. Like, just being honest. The hospital staff are amazing. They're taking care of me. My doctor's amazing. She's gonna take care of me. I really feel like I'm in good hands, but I'm in expensive hands. So, that's fun. That's another thing I'm spiteful about. Also, as soon as I got home, I hurt my wrist. I was putting a pillow inside of a pillowcase and I don't know what I did, but it hurt my wrist and my thumb. So now I'm crocheting weird and I'm probably not going to post any tutorials for a while. I still can crochet, thankfully, but it just, like, I'm having a hard time doing it the way that I normally do and showing my process of how I make specific stitches. So you probably won't see tutorials coming from me until my wrist, thumb, whatever it is, heals. It's kind of like all in here. I don't really know what it is, but yep, so that's kind of what's been going on. I know somebody who's very, very near and dear to me who is being severely underpaid and mistreated by their boss, and that's been a very upsetting ordeal. And their boss is even starting to play mind games and like get other people in on it and be like, hey, do you think it's okay that he asked for a raise? They literally called him into an office and said, you shouldn't have asked for a raise. You are replaceable. Next time you ask for a raise, do it more humbly. And they said, you can leave this job, but you're not ready for another job. All in front of another person. And then they asked the other person for their opinion. Like, what? Who does that? You can just say no when someone gets a raise. And also, this wasn't even the same conversation. Like, his boss came back the next day and said, hey, let's talk about how I'm not giving you a raise, and then laid all that on him. That was so unnecessary. That is so unethical. I hate how people think they can just do that. They really, really think their employees are that replaceable and that they can just scare them into working for almost nothing. Maybe this is why Hobbii letting Matt go is hitting so hard. This Hobbii is not the one who did that second thing, by the way, that I'm talking about. Not the one who called him into the office and had that discussion and all that. I don't know those details of how Matt was let go. This is another completely separate person, but it's just getting on my nerves seeing this happen all the time. Like, this happens all the time. My last workplace had some really hostile stuff going on, and if any of us tried to stand up for each other, we were silenced like crazy. I mean, they made a rule that we couldn't talk to each other anymore. They moved me into another office so that I would stop talking to my coworkers and to interns. It's crazy. Like, really, I'm sick of it. I think I'm blessed to work at the place where I do work. I've never seen any sort of mind games happen there, but oh my gosh, what a low bar. What a low bar. But anyway, so I've got a lot of big feelings, and I'm just gonna keep crocheting to deal with them. Keep expressing myself through art, because that is a much healthier way to express yourself than a lot of the other things I feel like doing. This isn't a threat, by the way. When I say things I feel like doing, I'm a pretty peaceful person. I kind of just mean like screaming. But yeah, we're gonna crochet the pain away. Everybody join me. If you're feeling upset, if you're feeling scared, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling used, taken advantage of, oops, I needed to decrease there and I didn't. Anyway, pick up a crochet hook, crochet your feelings. You can find a project that matches your feelings. Ravelry has so much cool stuff, oh my goodness. That's where I found this hat pattern, and they're actually donating the proceeds of this hat pattern to anti-ice efforts, so I'll link that in the comments. But yeah, find a cool pattern that reflects your emotion. Write your own pattern if you're talented in that area. Freehand something. Choose some fun colors that match your feelings. There is actually a reason that this is red. I'm making it in all kinds of colors because I just need the dopamine. But these hats are typically red because they were worn in Norway during the Nazi reign, and they were worn to protest Nazi occupation. And we are kind of adopting that and using it to protest ICE occupation. I don't know why that's such a hard word to say. But also I got to hand dye some yarn. I love hand dyeing yarn. So yeah, I do like to put emotion into projects sometimes. I'll show you this pair of gloves. These are called couples mittens. I've showed them in another video, but I made them for my boyfriend and I to be able to hold hands while we go for walks. We each have our own armhole and we can hold hands inside the mitten. So that's fun. That was a Valentine's Day present. I have a lot of feelings projects in my head. I really want to learn tapestry crochet because then I can actually put words and pictures onto my projects. I'm not skilled in like drawing or anything like that, and I really wish I was, because there are a lot of words and pictures that I want to put on things, and so tapestry crochet I think would be great for me to start getting into. But yeah, I mean, this really is soothing for the soul. There's been a lot of research done that the repetitive movements of knitting and crochet are really good for your mental health. I really can't remember the details about why off the top of my head, but I will try to find some articles to link in the description as well, because it's really, really interesting to read about, and that is another reason that I'm so passionate about crochet. There's lots of reasons I love crochet, and one of them is the mental health benefits. And one of them is craftivism. Craftivism actually has been used for a very long time. It was used obviously in Norway, like I was just talking about, but soldiers have used it in war to send messages. Prisoners have used it to send messages. Women have used it to cope while their husbands were away in war. Soldiers have used it to rehabilitate after serious injuries. I mean, it's amazing. It's been around for years and years, and it's really fascinating to learn about. So that's all I want to talk about today. I'm gonna turn off my camera and probably turn off my phone and just disappear into my crochet projects. Hopefully come out renewed and refreshed and ready to be my fun, vibrant self again tomorrow. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Again, please just remember to take time for yourself, take time to breathe, take time to create. Find some little things every day to be happy about. Let me find something. The sunset was really, really beautiful today. And when I drive home, I can always see the sunset. I get off work at the perfect time and I drive west. So the sunset is just right over my whole window and it's lovely. There's something I'm thankful for. I'm very thankful for the doctors who have been taking care of me. I'm thankful for my boyfriend who has been an amazing emotional support, and I'm thankful for my friends who have been standing up for me and who have been a support. There is good in this world, okay? I hope my video didn't get you down, by the way. There is good in this world, I promise. I found some. I'm still looking for more, but it's there. I'm sure of it. I don't know what is going to happen in the future, but I do know that there are people out there who are fighting for us. So we have hope, okay? All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that all of you have a great day. Bye.